Chapter 12 of Wonders of the Jungle. The Camel and the Thief. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Dolores Gordon. Wonders of the Jungle. The Camel and the Thief by Sarath Kumar Ghosh. Now I shall tell you a story about a camel and a thief. It is a true story and happened many, many years ago. The story shows that we can learn by watching the animals. Once upon a time, a traveler was going on foot across the country. In his belt he had a purse full of money. One day, as the sun began to get hot, he lay down on the grass under a tree near the roadway and fell asleep. After a few hours he woke up, and what was his surprise to find that the purse was gone. While he was asleep, somebody had quietly stolen his purse and gone away. The traveler ran to the nearest village, and there told the police about it. Now among the police there was a very clever man, and the police brought him with them to the place where the money had been stolen. The clever man looked all around the place very carefully to see if he could find any marks on the ground. On the grass near the tree he found no marks. In fact, if a person walked on the grass just once or twice, it does not leave any mark, but on the roadway nearby he found footprints. "They are camels' footprints," he said, looking at the marks carefully. "And the marks of all the 4 feet are not quite the same. 3 of them are quite deep and clear, but the 4th one is very faint." He followed the camel's footprints along the road for a long time, but now and again he stopped and looked at the shrubs and bushes which grew here and there on both sides of the road. "Hello, that is strange," he suddenly said. "The camel has eaten from the bushes and shrubs here and there on the left side of the road, but he hasn't eaten at all from those on the right side of the road." He went on for some time longer, then suddenly stopped to look at the road where the camel had walked. "Hello, this is also strange," he said. "Here are a lot of bees buzzing near the ground on the right side of the road, and here are a lot of ants scrambling over the ground on the left side of the road." "Never mind about the camel and the bees and the ants," the police said impatiently. "We want to know about the thief who stole the money. We have not found any other footprints except the camel's." "That is quite true," the clever man said. "But as the camel could not steal the money, there must be a man riding on the camel. He must be the thief." "But why didn't the thief leave any footprints?" the policeman said. "Because he must have ridden his camel from the roadway right to the edge of the grass," the clever man answered. "Then he must have jumped down upon the grass where he knew he would not leave any footprint. He must have walked very quietly on the grass up to the tree where the traveler was sleeping and stolen the money. Then he must have walked back quietly to the camel and ridden off." "But what sort of man is the thief?" the police said. "How can we find him if you do not tell us what he is like?" "I cannot tell you a thing about the thief, or what he looks like, as he hasn't left a footprint," the clever man answered. "But I can tell you all about the camel. The camel is blind in his right eye and lame in his left hind foot. And on his back he is carrying 2 packages, one on each side. The package on the right side has honey in it, and the package on the left side has corn in it. So you must search for a man who is riding a camel loaded like that. He is the thief." So the police searched for a man who was riding a camel which was blind in his right eye, lamed in his left hind foot, and carrying honey in a package on his right side and corn in a package on his left side. After following the camel's footprints on the ground for a long time, the police at last came to a village. They searched through the village and found many men riding camels. But there was only one man riding a camel, blind in his right eye, lame in his left hind foot, and carrying honey on the right side and corn on the left side. So the police knew that he was the thief, and took him before the judge. Then the thief said that it was quite true that he stole the money. Afterwards the judge turned to the clever man and asked him how he knew all about the camel.
"You didn't even see the camel at all, but only his footprints," the judge said. "Then how did you know that the camel was blind in his right eye, lame in his left hind foot, and carrying honey on his right side and corn on the left side?"
"It was quite simple," the clever man answered very modestly. "First, about the camel being blind in his right eye. He had nibbled at the shrubs and bushes growing on the left side of the road, for at each bite I found the leaves cut off clean by his teeth. On the right side of the road there were also plenty of good shrubs and bushes, but the camel had not taken a single bite at any of them. That showed that he did not even see those shrubs and bushes on his right side, and that of course meant that he was blind in his right eye."
"That is very clever of you," the judge said. "But how did you know that the camel was lame in his left hind foot?"
"That was very simple," the clever man answered again very modestly. "As the camel walked along, the marks of his 2 front feet and right hind foot were quite deep and clear on the ground, but the mark of his left hind foot was very faint. That showed that the camel was limping and the left hind foot only just touched the ground. So I knew that he was lame in that foot."
"That is also very clever of you," the judge said.
"But how could you know that the camel was carrying honey on his right side and corn on his left side?" "That was the simplest of all," the clever man answered very modestly. "As the camel was limping, nearly every step he took jerked the load on his back. So a few drops of honey fell on the ground and from the package on his right side, and a few grains of the corn fell to the ground from the package on his left side."
"But you could not see very well here and there on the ground just a few drops of honey or just a few grains of corn," the judge said.
"I could not," the clever man answered, "but the bees and ants could. On the right side of the road I found a swarm of bees here and there, so I knew that they were trying to pick up the honey. And on the left side of the road I saw a whole lot of ants here and there, so I knew that they were trying to pick up and carry away the grains of corn." Now was it not really clever of the man to find all that out about the camel without ever seeing the camel before? But as you understand, he knew all about the habits of different animals, and so he knew what camels and bees and ants always do. End of chapter. Recording by Dolores Gordon.